Hey there, Shrine Runners! Hello, and welcome to the Fox Shrine. I'm Araxis, your host, and tonight we're going to be playing some more Limbus Company. Hey there, Kuro. Hey, Ada. Welcome. Hope you're all doing alright. I'm doing pretty good, and with any luck, we'll be able to wrap up the Arknights collab tonight. We'll see how long the dungeon takes us. Hopefully it's doable in a single stream. Otherwise, well, we'll just have to do another one, won't we? So, let's get into the game, shall we? Alright. As per usual, do let me know if there are any issues with stream quality or anything like that. Excuse me. And let's get into the dungeon, shall we? Press the dungeon boss. I can probably do all that, can't we? Alright, so I think I'm happy with this. So that is what we will go with.
입장을 알리는 음악 소리가.
News of the wars getting grimmer by the day. Ooh, alright. We've got Mare's house in the Igear city or something, I guess. She's dressed all fancy. What is the sword of sharpened tears? That's Rodion's ID at the moment, and it also represents Knight of Despair from Lobotomy Corporation and Limbus Company. The sea terrors are coming, swarming. This is the day when the ocean-born calamity broke and sunk Igear's seemingly infinite starward growth. Aren't you going to the surface, Mares? More and more people are getting too anxious to stay in Igear. I'm not. If Igear falls, it only means that the surface is soon to follow. Why? Think you'll head to the surface too? I'm thinking about it. While there weren't that many, people around me began to leave for the surface. I considered some of them to be close acquaintances. They all tried to convince me to leave with them. But fleeing my home in favor of the land didn't feel right. The foretold calamity descended. It dealt a heavy blow to Igear. Surface suffered much worse. I had to help them. How could I not, after hearing that such a terrible thing has happened? I think I'll head to the surface. Seriously, the surface? Think hard about it before you go. If you leave now, coming back might no longer be an option. Every day must be a struggle for them. At least I don't have to fear for the immediate tomorrow. So it's my responsibility to provide help, as someone who is better off than them, even by a little. No, but if I don't go there to help, things will only get much more dangerous for the land dwellers. Maybe that danger is the very thing that'll hurt you. I still think I have to help them. I procured myself an Igerian research vessel at a cheap price to bring me to the land. Unable to even submerge itself while moving, this wasn't exactly the best ship out there, and I normally wouldn't have even given it a second look. But I thought it would at least help me navigate the coastal sea. I didn't expect this. The very first thing I witnessed on the surface was the bottomless hostility against the Igear. They denied my and Igear's offer for help for the sole reason that I came from the sea. They denied my compassion, my research. Get lost! We don't need your stupid research. You're from the same place as that Calamity, aren't you? You really think we're so stupid that we'd trust you? They confiscated my catalysts and tore my research apart. My wish to stand with them against the Calamity was devoured by the hatred born of the same Calamity. Any kindness, any compassion I gave them was repaid twofold in hatred and suspicion. Did the terrible conditions of this land transform them into monsters? Or was this always their nature? It wasn't long before the research vessel I brought from Aegir was confiscated out of suspicion. A few weeks later, when I finally came across that vessel by the beach, there was an uncanny name inscribed on its side: Rebellion de la Masas. But none of that was enough to stop me from continuing my research for the sake of the land dwellers. I went through so many trials and errors to somehow impede Sea Terra's rapid evolution, to revive the Iberian soil contaminated by the Nethersea brand. My work bore barely any fruit, and I let the days float by as I watched the Inquisition arrest the Aegir one by one. When my Sea Terra samples and research notes came into view, they all looked completely different from one another, some of them with fundamentally different physiologies. Even still, nothing stopped them from being us instead of I. And for the first time, I became doubtful of my efforts to interrupt their evolution. Her tales were not entirely fabrications. Mares is a bishop of the Church of the Deep, so that automatically makes her a sinner in the eyes of the Inquisition, regardless of her reasons. The more I studied them, the more I found them to be such compassionate, altruistic creatures. All they cared about was their survival, without even a hint of selfishness. They're not some evil monsters from the sea. Mares, I concede that seaborns may not be evil, but it doesn't matter what they are, whether they are kindly life forms, or whether they are simply a different form of civilization. It doesn't matter, because Iberia and her Inquisition does not define seaborns as evil. Seaborns are our enemy, threats to human existence. I have but one thing to say as an Inquisitor. You, all of you, are my enemy. But it would be a good thing for the Inquisition if I were to leave for the city, wouldn't it? Why would you say that it's a good thing for us to toss our problem into another world? That'll be like abandoning our pride. Unless they, the people of the city, give you permission, as an Inquisitor, I can't let you do that. Yeah, and don't get your hopes up about that either. You can wrap it in a box that says compassion for all you want. Mares, your course isn't exactly the direction I'd like to sail in. As the rest of the sinners prepare for battle in silent agreement with Ishmael's stand, Mares mutters with genuine disappointment. I didn't want to have to do this. Waves. I had no better word to describe the horde of sea terrors crashing into us. This is the only way it could have ended. Your words are composed entirely of your own color and no one else's. Manager Dante, right? You speak. We will hold the line and defend this place against the sea terrors rushing in from the rear. So, in the meantime, will you take down Mares and deal with the remaining sea terrors? Absolutely. You do your tower defense thing and defend us. We'll do our Limbus company thing. The manager has responded affirmatively. All operators will be drawing the sea terrors to us. We don't need to take them all down. We just need to act as a wall between the wave and the people of Limbus Company. Irene, I would like to ask for your help as well. As for Amia, I found out today, actually, that apparently Irene is actually an operator in Arknights. It's apparently not just Rhodes Island. Irene is a playable character in that. Please assist Limbus Company, just in case. Okay, then, let the mission begin. Alright. Well, we've got a whole bunch of things ahead of us. I don't really see any difference in what it is we're doing. So let's just go for the top. There's Fathoms. Alright. So you you actually you and you. There we go. Alright, let's go.
불로 정화하고 깨끗한 세계를 세우라.
Alright, so fairly simple thing. I'm just going to basically auto-resolve this since I see no reason to overthink things. We've seen these battles before anyway. Okay, that guy's dead.
깔끔한 헤드샷. 머리통이 작살났다고.
숨통 끊기.
Smash them. Yeah, you guys are all chumps. We're good. Alright. It's a pretty neat background though. I do enjoy the background for these battles. Shame that's not something that's gonna stick around, I guess.
깔끔한 헤드샷. 머리통이 작살났다고.
지킬 게 많거든.
Mission accomplished.
Alright. Over here. There seems to be a commotion at the village square. Villagers are surrounding someone with a clear intent to threaten. The evil sorcerer's gone, so why won't this calamity end? Explain! Be honest. You just couldn't stand to watch Iberia thrive, could you? But were for that calamity, we would have... Look, please, I'm just here to... I'm just here to share some research notes. What? How to fight those sea monsters? Oh, now you're looking to help us? Newsflash, it's too damn late. These scraps of paper won't do anything to help us. The locals firmly believe that the calamity was brought here by Aegir's. We have to put a stop to this, I think. I could feel the mob turning towards us. An evil sorcerer started the profound silence. He pretended to work for us, but it turned out that he was driven by envy of Iberia's prosperity. Don't try to stop us outsiders. They came from the sea, just like the sorcerer himself. As they were protesting, the hungry, harrowed look of the villagers came into the sinner's eyes. A villager, cradling an empty bundle of cloth. A child, holding a staff and a hat that was far too large for him. You've all lost a lot. And that void in your heart blinds you. Makes it unbearable to keep your emotions in check. This is how they deal with sorrow. There were no emotions or intent to be found in the great calamity that devoured Iberia whole. No. They sharpened their sorrows into wayward wraths against those who came from the sea, just like the calamity itself. Which means someone needs to direct their anger against the rightful foes. Irene? Citizen. Even if we were to determine that Aegir has committed crimes, it falls under the Inquisition's jurisdiction to carry out the consequences. If the Aegir is innocent, do understand that your actions cannot be permitted. It seemed that Irene managed to provoke some thought in the mob as they slowly walked away from the Aegir, until they eventually scattered away. Thank you. As you can see, I hail from Aegir. Ever since the profound silence, I devoted myself to studying seaborns and Nethersea brand to help the land dwellers. I don't know where my colleagues have all gone, but I don't need of this anymore. Want my help? Why should I give it to them? He seemed crestfallen by his experience at Iberia. I mean, they might not, but there has to be someone who needs your help, right? Yeah. Who will speak? I think it will be Heathcliff. Maybe so. It was just a matter of what they actually want. Should approach this more carefully and possibly find a different research angle. Maybe it should be about trying to find a way to restore the soil from all the salt that destroyed it. Oh, if you're headed out to sea, would you take this with you? These are years worth of Sea Terror research notes. Take them. Maybe you'll find more use for them than I or the land dwellers did. After handing over his research notes, the Aegir walks away with an unburdened expression. Sea Terror notes.
저격수한테 이런 거 시키지 좀 마라.
Alright, 10% damage against enemies, 1% additional damage for every enemy defeated or every part broken during the encounter. Activate the above effect repeatedly by breaking the same part. If there are sea terrors among the enemies, the above effect activates at maximum potential regardless of the conditions. Lovely, that's good. We're up against a bunch of sea terrors. That means we're going to get like 30% extra damage.
총은 수지 타산에 맞게 한 발에 한 놈씩.
Gotta hand the saint over there, so we'll just keep that in mind, I guess.
갑니다.
して
많거든.
大きな打撃を与えました
이 정도로 나와 검을 맞대? 아직 죽지 마라.
ひゃーアルカナビシャドクターのように優れた式ですね 効果的な攻
That
撃
was
でした
oh, that's a founder.
한 점만 노린다.
Now you, hopefully,
좋아, 탄하구만.
are staggered. That's something.
囚人の皆さんの状態に何か変化が
You go for that.
만만치 않겠군 우리니 하지
아직 죽지
タ
마라.
ンタさんの作戦とても効果的でした
차라리
좋아, 탄하구만.
Yeah, so you're gonna be annoying, I think.
다음 목표로
このままいけば敵を食い止められます
A hand is still inactive. You go with that. Yeah, I suppose that's fine.
만만치
We'll
않겠군
save our ego resources for the boss. I don't know how strong the boss is going to be or anything like that. But if Mares is anything like the knight, it could be a tricky battle.
이 정도쯤이야?
지키기 위해서 40. 다음 목표로
敵は深手を負っています
Okay. So, oh no, you've activated. All right. Well, let's do something about that, shall we? You go there. Actually. Yeah, I guess if we do that, that weakens you. Yeah, we'll go with that so that you can't sort of get screwed over. Alright? It'll be fine. Okay. You can kill that one.
타겟 포착. 한시방. 깨우치시게. 가치 없군. 죽어라.
정의 이름으로 このまま行けば敵を食い止められます。
Okay.
타겟 포착 1시 반.
깔끔한 헤드샷. 머리통에 작살났다고.
이제 깨지시게. 그 삶의 마침표를.
Mission accomplished.
Okay. Let's see what comes next. Oh boy. Saying this is going to be a tricky battle, so
에고 침식도.
let's see
Yeah.
what they've got in store for us. Hopefully not the night again.
リンバスカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて
Just 20 enemies. This'll be fine. Alright. Engage per normal. You lot are going to aim to kill the founder, however, instead of just this sea runner.
사격 개시. 좋아. 탄하구만.
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えました。ひゃーアルカナビドクターのように優れた指揮ですね。
숨통 끊기.
What?
効果的な攻撃でした。
지키기 위해서.
Not doing nearly as much damage to the founder as I hoped we would. At least we got the stagger.
쏠수 있죠?
Each clip can finish him off.
敵は
There
深
we
手を負っていま
go.
す。
Alright. They're still unengaged. You're a bit of a tricky one, aren't you? Let's go with that in case.
날카롭고 정확하게. 가치 없군. 죽어라. 다음 목표로. 아, 저는 개인 줄도 몰랐네. 차라리
ダンテさん、とても効果的でした。敵は深手を負っています。
It's fine, there's all Heathcliff moments of peak. I neglected the hand of the saint. Well, let's go deal with that now. Do that. You do that. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, we'll go with that. We're saving your bullet for one of these guys, so don't you worry, Heathcliff. We've got things planned out. So, yeah. In the meantime, you can just deal with that. All good. Yes. All right. Been enjoying Entomologist in Sichuan and Plan.
아직 죽지 마라.
Is that a light novel?
훌륭하군요.
Manhua. Okay. Oh, well, I hope that's going well for you. Okay. Yeah, finish that one off.
エリートオペレーター並みの腕前です。
Damn straight our skills are elite. You're at one again, are you? Well, guess we'd better do something about it. You can't? That says it's off, I guess. Maybe they just always got territory then. Alright. What's mirror world genre? Okay, so got you over there. Shoot that one. Acceptable.
정확하게 죽어라.
Okay. Never heard someone call it Mirum.
그 삶의 마침표를. 저는
敵は深手を負っています。
Alright. So, what we're going to do here, deal with them, then, just do a weak attack there. I want you to blast this guy to a pulp. I never heard Murim either, to be honest. Just in case he doesn't die, because I don't have a weakness. We'll do that. This looks fine.
불가이야.
한 점만 노린다.
막아내지 못하리.
適した攻撃でなくとも最善の選択だったはずです。
勝ち없군. 틈틈.
もっと効果的な方法が。
지키기 위해서. 40. 먹지.
Yeah, like I firstly heard it as like Wuxia or
エリートオペ
Zhanxia.
レーター並みの腕前です。
Let me see. There's like, is there like a specific version for Murin? This Murin is closer to. Murin is the Korean equivalent. Okay, that's where I'm getting confused. Okay, yeah, because you said it was a manhua. Okay, I was thinking purely Chinese here. Okay, that's good to know. Alright. Interesting stuff all around. Okay. Now... Let's do that. Have two there.
갑니다. 아득한 여정. 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를
I'm
찾아.
gonna take two counterattacks here, I believe, because of the whole AoE thing. Things happen. Did have the shield to help out.
그 삶의 마침표를.
Alright, that's active now. Okay. We do that. Just do our best here, I think. Yeah, we'll go with that. Ah, damn it.
잡히겠다 맹세했는데. 자! 숨통 끊기.
림버스 컴퍼니の皆さん、この勢いに乗って勝ちに行きましょう。
Yep, we'll do that. And all the rest of you can attack over here. So this'll be enough to kill that one.
만만찮겠군. 본인이 하지.
깔끔한 헤드샷. 머리통에 작살났다고.
든든하군요.
Go.
자, 악은 이렇게 정화되었네.
Mission
Beautiful.
accomplished.
Okay. And we'll go for the top one. Top a steep coastal cliff. An old man is staring out to the far ocean, peering through the gale. Approach. We ask the old man what he's doing here, and he turns around with a good-natured laugh. I was once a lighthouse keeper. Used to bring the Eye of Iberia's light to the dark sea. So, I'm looking out to the sea, watching the lighthouse beyond the cresting waves. I look to where the old man points, but I don't see any lighthouses there. Just tall, cresting waves, mercilessly pummeling the cliffs. Ah, I miss those days dearly. Days of brilliance. I would illuminate the vast ocean. Once the profound silence came and went, Iberia became too white, too dark. The old man's fingers gently caress the keys in his hand, our eyes full of longing. Ask if the key belonged to the lighthouse. Who's got the best chance here? This is the last evidence in this world that light ever existed out there. At sea. The lighthouse keeper always had to carry 3 keys on them. One to open doors, one to send messages, and one to light the sea. I don't suppose they'll do any of that now. Take it. I don't know where you're going. One of these keys may come in handy. He tried to refuse, but the old man was insistent as he placed the key in my hand. Remember that there once was a lighthouse here. The sea wasn't always dark. As we were descending the cliffs after bidding the old man farewell, I heard the splash of waves coming from behind us. The old man was nowhere to be seen on the cliff. Oh, silver
계획을
key bundle
세워두면 이런
obtained.
것도 어렵지 않답니다.
In boss fights, gain 1 ego resource for the 3 least owned affinities at the start of the turn. And at turn end, if ego skill was used this turn, gain 3 ego resource for the least owned affinity once per turn. Oh! This is great, actually! This is incredible! We'll be getting so much more ego resources because of these keys. And even if we do use an ego skill, we'll be getting even more out of it. And this will help top up our less common skills. Excellent, that's great. Great find there. I'll be able to sort of keep our people healed up. At the center of what appears to be an arc symbolizing the city, at the center of that brilliant golden light, must be Mares. Let's take a quick break here. You alright, Doctor? Just need to take a quick breather. Ooh. You should probably work on your cardio, or Miss Amia might have to piggyback you around. Yeah, well, once we get back, I'll start working out like Cal suggested. Executive Manager, if it ever comes to it, you may trust me with the piggybacking. Thanks, Otis. I'm good. Perhaps being in close proximity to Mare's vision of utopia and the center of the light did something. Keyboards near us only gave us a passing glance without attacking us. Something about the way they looked at us felt like they were concerned about us. The sinners couldn't help but look away with a funny feeling. I feel sorrow, regret. Maybe these feelings are denials for all those times she spent agonizing over this. Can we really bring back Miss Mares? We'll help her return. That's what we're here to do, after all. Alright, let's rest up for a bit before moving on. Yep, collect ourselves and move on. After taking enough rest, we continue on towards the refracted light. Yep, all HP at max. Appreciate that. Okay. Let's go.
어머, 부탁드려요.
Mare's despair. The repulsiveness of people's ill intent. And the faint hope from the light down within. All kinds of emotions and memories rise to the surface of Amia's phantoms, then think again. Those same thoughts seep into me as well, unfiltered. The sins that people have committed won't just go away. Humanity's ill intent will propagate unimpeded too. But the tides that Miss Mares is trying to summon to douse it will devour humanity, their civilization, and the city that they come from. I don't think that's the right way to go. Not as long as Dante and the people of Limbus Company refuse. This isn't like the time I retrieved the ego. In place of the light, a speck of darkness casts a shadow. Reach out into the darkness. Strange power courses through me. Strange power courses through me before radiating towards the sinners. Emotional connection for the duration of this encounter, huh? Alright, well let's have a look at what this is.
그럴 땐 크게 심호흡을 하면
On hit against enemies, 50% times number of coin, divided by number of coins percent chance to gain ego corresponding to used skill affinity. Nice. When an enemy dies after an allied unit's skill attack ends, gain 2 least owned ego resources. In an encounter, gain 1 ego resource for each affinity consumed when using the following ego skills. Alright, we got a bonus for our event IDs. And we have Nez over here. Alright. Well, we've got a log for her. As it seems that all had forgotten to leave a record of this entity, I begin this recording. Despite her bizarre, entwined form, Miss Mares retained reason in her speech. As that appearance is what she had sought long to achieve, though this may be but a long-expected culmination of inevitability, she did not lose her reason. No. That may be why she seeks to convert us still. To borrow Miss Amia's choice of words, It seems that Miss Mares believes this to be an avoidable battle. Seaborns are that which so readily devote themselves to practices of altruism, dedication, and self-sacrifice for the survival and prosperity of their community. From a certain perspective, one may even say that they retain a beauty most unmarred. However, this understanding is veiled to us only by the insight by which Miss Mares has enlightened us. Had that insight eluded us, naught else but fear would have gripped me when the tidal wave of monstrosities beyond understanding crashed into us. Of course, that is but a lone perspective of mine. For some, it may have been curiosity, for others, awe. Witnessing the infinity of life itself brings to mind the recollection of a fellow who once said that the qualities of a technology are defined by its user. All who make the city their home know that life and ecosystem have both become parts of the nebulous technology, after all. They say that defining the unearthed nature of humanity as good is fine. They say that defining the unearthed nature of humanity as evil is also fine. They say that defining the nature of inhumanity as good is also fine. Yet, is it fine to define the nature of inhumanity as good, and to attempt to graft that goodness to humanity? A difficult question. I know not where we are still. A distant outskirts, a different side of a mirror, or an honorific labyrinth. What clues that exist are far too scattered, far too scarce. What is certain, however, is that Terra is unlike the city. To seek understanding of the unfamiliar is a toil, an unpaved path. Thus, it is reasonable to believe that we have yet to comprehend Terra. The same could be said of Miss Mares. Her clues to understanding the city are far too scarce. Thus, let us refrain from hastening to seek the conclusion to a question so convoluted. The city is well within our understanding. Thus, for our return, we shall suffice. Alright, well, let's have a look here. Right, so she's going to gain 100 Abyssal Vitality, heal SP on self by the amount consumed. Alright, then she's going to get 100 of that. Number of skills there. What panic type have you got? Heart of Compassion. Lovely. Deals nervous impairment on target divided by 2% damage. Alright, so... And damage up and fragile. Okay. Yep, so it doesn't change panic type. Phototaxic Procession. Reduce damage from everything, and from like status effects, and 10 protection. Turn end. Consume Abyssal Vitality to summon Sea Terror Horde. If there are fewer than 3 Shell Sea Runners or Deep Sea Sliders on the battlefield, randomly summon either of those units until there are a sum of 3 of them next turn, and consume number of summoned units times 4 Abyssal Vitality. If Nether Sea Founder isn't on the battlefield, consume 8. If Spewer isn't on the battlefield, consume 12. If Basin Sea Reaper isn't on the field, consume 20 next turn. Is she going to summon them all at once? Or does it sort of like work in this order? And then... Or does it sort of like do all of them? Well, we'll find out. Every time a Sea Terror this unit summoned is killed, fixed HP damage equal to the unit's max HP. Alright, so minion battle. I'll have to take out the minions and that will hurt the boss. At 50% HP, end combat phase, gain a new pattern. Disable phototaxic procession passive. So this one over here. Gain more abyssal vitality. When gaining this passive or when recovering from stagger, gain shield equal to the amount of HP lost. Gain shield activates the effects of indelible compassion. It does not lose shield at turn end. When shield breaks due to getting hit, become staggered and gain 5 fragile. Gain 5 fragile at stagger threshold. Fragile gain do not stack. Shield HP can stack. However, the shield HP cannot be more than 50% of the shield unit's max HP. Alright. So she's going to keep her shield, it seems like, each turn. And we're going to have to sort of hammer that down. And when it breaks, she becomes vulnerable. Apply 5 nervous impairment to enemies. Gain fragile equal to the double the number of times before the compassion they believe in loses its worth was used during this encounter. I'm guessing that's a skill that she's got. Okay. After gaining a new pattern, reduce this unit's skill slots by the number of staggered enemies every turn. Alright, that's nice. I appreciate that. Never see brand, final power and coin power up doubles nervous impairment inflicted. When hitting a base and Sea Reaper with this unit's skill, convert from standby to combat ready. Alright. Anyway, I'm going to take a brief break here for the ad break, and then we will go ahead and battle mares. Alright? Be right back.
じれったくても仲間を殴ろうと腕まくりするのはやめてください。
And we're back. Sorry about the delay, had to quickly do something and took a little bit longer than I thought. But we're back into Limbus Company. Also, hey there, Poppy. Hope you're doing alright. We're up to the boss battle. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. I don't actually know if we can hit this. In this phase or anything. This is going to do sort of like a summon sort of thing. Sometimes it sort of like cancels things. Canto 1 and 2 are the weakest cantos. Universally considered to be such. So, well... We'll see how things go if you decide to continue, Poppy. Personally, I think there's quite a few cantos with very good conclusions to them. But 1 and 2, I would agree with you that they don't have satisfying endings, I guess. Canto 2 made 1 worse because we could have gotten the Golden Bow and nothing would have changed. We got all the protection anyway, so it's not like we can do much.
어머해줘.
여긴 맡겨주세요.
エンバスカンパニーの皆さんとご一緒できて
I don't get the power up. I thought that you had to get the power up, that's why I was sort of doing the defensive stuff. Oh well. Okay, and yeah, you do get to summon everything. I see. Alright. Targeting allies. And targeting an enemy for every 4 vitality to... Okay. Yep, so that's going to boost you up. Consume Abyssal Vitality for every surviving ally. Apply number of turns survived. Damage up next turn to all allies. Alright. There we go. It's just damage up, it's not clash power up, so we just have to not get hit, right? Alright. Either way, let's go. Okay. Go with you. You kind of want to take you out as fast as possible, so we'll go with that. There. You go with that. You go with that. How are you going? Over there, huh? Do that. you going? Alright, that's fine. That leaves you there. And activate this one. Because you get a bonus for using it. Yeah, seems good to me. Alright.
만만찮겠군. 우리 하지. 차라리
敵に対して大きな打撃を与えました。
ひゃーアルカナビーシャ
There we go. There's a boost for us.
한눈 팔지 마세요. 맨날은 당신에게 파도는 반드시 밀려올 테니.
Yeah, I thought you would activate. It's fine.
그 삶의 마침표를
効果的な攻撃でした。
사선이 비었어요.
시야 확보. 쏜다.
このままいけば敵を食い止められます。
Okay. Yes, I've got that coming down again. That's fine there. Okay. I very much want to activate that. What passive did we get here? And there we go. All right. Let's go with that. There. Oh, hold on. There. There. That. And yeah, I think we're sorted. Go.
사격 개시.
아득한 여정, 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
敵 がリンバスカンパニーの先頭。
地球を
また一つ任せていただきました。
Here comes Magical Girl.
정의보다도 푸른 자요, 사랑보다 붉은 자요. 운명 속에 파묻힌 그대 이름을 걸고 여기서 빛의 맹세한다. 우리 앞을 막는 증오스러운 존재들에게 나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 사랑의 힘을 보여줄 것을! 아르카나 슬레이머!
I don't know, it might possibly like reframe your thinking, Poppy, if you consider Cantos 1, 2, and 3 to like all be together, because that's all sort of like what released like at the start of the game, I guess. So Canto 3 is where there's a conclusion for one. Especially the way that it sort of presents things, which I suppose should you get through to the end of Canto 3, you'll see what I mean.
곱게 접은 종이에 번졌으니 식구의 하늘 용이 되어 빈 벼루에 남았구나.
Okay. You've summoned... Ooh, hello. Alright, what have we got here? The Deep Blue Charity. Yep, on main target. Targeting allies 0 damage, regardless of speed. Flash lose. It'll get power down and paralyzed, deal less damage. Half nervous impairment inflicted. Abyssal Vitality gained. Okay. Yeah, because you're running out of Abyssal Vitality, aren't you? At the start of the turn, generate Never See brand in allied territory. Alright. Yeah, okay. Understood. Alright. What's that? Need something a bit stronger. That won't do it. Getting closer, but no. Doing that will be suicide. Neutral. I just have to go for... Might go for that. Get any boost here? No. Okay. All right. Here. There. 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 And we'll do that as well. Okay. This. I'm gonna try and do that next turn if I can, to try and restore some of the sanity lost on people. Kinda nasty, to be honest, though.
사격 개시.
숨통 끊기.
ダンテさんの作戦とても効果的でした。
There we go. Failed one.
나는 이 왕좌에 묶여 홀로 통치하는 자일지니.
Load.
이제 평화가 찾아오네.
사선이 비었어요.
시야 확대. 쏜다.
내가 찾은 나만의 항해
That
방식.
didn't need that. Oh well. Got the ego passive active now, which is good.
敵は深手を負っていま
Alright,
す。
so we have to hit that now. Alright, you're almost at half HP. So... I'm saving this for when your protection goes down, which should be soon. Okay. I'm going to do that. Let's go grab you. Grab you. Not quite there. Might go with another meltdown, actually. Just make sure we get everything. One's getting through. Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, let's not worry about it. All good. Actually, I kinda want to activate Nebulizer. So let's do that.
갑니다. 원망도 미침도 소용이 없었으니 그저 무언가를 잡으려 애썼을 뿐.
Everything's going fine. Let's kill more enemies though in order to get the enemy's HP down.
40. 먹지.
Good. Staggered at least. Get rid of them.
壁を覆っています。
You're doing that again, are you? I suppose your abyssal vitality is low. Will you immediately... You will immediately end the combat phase and gain a new pattern. I'm able to kill, like, a bunch of you. Revenant Josephine! Thank you very much for the raid. Hopefully your stream went well. For those who don't know me, I am Araxis Denacia, your revolutionary bartender, and right now, we're playing some Limbus company. We're just fighting the final boss of the latest event for the game, so things seem to be going pretty well, so let's see if they continue to go well, shall we? We will clash with that just in case, I think. We do not want that to go through after all. Yeah, I know that feeling. I came back from holidays recently myself, so it can take a little bit to get back into the swing of things. And thank you very much for following. Welcome to the Fox Shrine. I hope you enjoy your stay, and glad Torchlight worked out well for you. Alright, so let's go see how we want to engage, shall we? We might be able to kill that with the AoE, but I don't want to sort of like rely on it. We'll go over there, however. Oh, actually, thinking on Don would not be great. What are you targeting? Lovely. Oh, stop it. Someone should just have to deal with it. Okay. There we go. Engage.
내가 쓸모가 있으려면
아득한 야정, 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
Always tricky when you're sort of in that position where the like current content's a bit too high level, so you gotta sort of do low level content or whatever. Yeah, was right. You've aged a lot since the last time we met, Barbie. Is this a characteristic of your subrace? You haven't aged a day. So, what brings you to the Church of the Deep? Theborns are indispensable in our preparation for the impending doom. Nothing, I mean nothing, else can ensure the survival of humanity. Thus, it would only be right for me to join hands with those who are able and willing to become Seaborns, to search for a way to prolong our existences. You're looking to use the knowledge of the wise and the talented as nourishment for the Seaborns. But that won't do anything more than prolong our existences. But is survival alone not enough? Thought a bishop of the church would share a majority of that belief with me. Abby, you and I both have put our faith in the Seaborns, but the word faith might mean something different for you than it does for me. Seaborns shouldn't be our object of worship. We have to stand on equal ground as them and set our eyes on their natures. Please, step aside. Desperation, sadness, sympathy. Mare's emotions gush upward, carried by bubbles. Yeah, the art design is top-notch as always. Terra, a land in which the hatred for the different has entrenched itself. The city, a place in which people, crushed by the trials of life, have surrendered to its absurdities. They both need the Seaborn, perfected beneath the light. That is but your wish, Miss Mares. Faust does not believe them to be necessary elements for the city. Even in the city, there are people who are searching for reasons to live on, dreaming of a better world. We all know that it can't possibly be easy to change, but there has to be some kind of worth, value in that process alone, in the lives that we lead within the city. What worth could there be to a life of the unkind? The kind of life humanity is doomed to exist in, where all we ever do is hurt and hate one another. Listen, efficient order, natural altruism, they're both virtues humanity should never lose sight on. There's no such thing as absolutes when it comes to the value of life. Only a Sith feels an absolute. survival is the right of all civilization, which means that it should never be up to others to define the worth of life. Argue for it. But what if there's no other way? Can you even understand what I'm saying? Some time had passed since I made Faro Muerto my home. Unlike my prediction, the Seaborn's evolution seemed to have lost its explosive progress, and Barbius seemed to be content just observing their slow development. Maybe it's because they're directionless, without a specific wish. Even still, Seaborns were the key to changing Terra. To stand against the incoming calamity, we needed their survivability and adaptability. And the humanity that has turned exhaustion into ill intent needed the Seaborn's blind, selfless altruism towards their own. So, while I never stopped my studies, something small but sharp continued to stab my frustrated heart. Stultified and unable to be resolved. If we were to lose even our sense of selves and creed, assimilated into this stagnated great will, for the sake of survival, civilization had to be no more. For the sake of us, I had to be no more. The realization of that paradox made the first crack in my confidence that Seaborns were the answer to the problem Iberia, the land, and humanity faced. And through the cracks, seeds of doubt were sown. But I'd already come too far to find a path more beautiful than the Seaborns. No more wasting time with these stupid ruminations. There has to be a way, some kind of condition Seaborns need to fulfill, to retain their sense of selves, to retain their individual hopes and wishes. I stood adrift atop the inundation of years I dedicated to this purpose, holding on to this precious hope, and steeled my shaking heart. And that was the easy part. There are no better solutions. Don't look away from the answer that lies right in front of me. All I need to do is find a way for Seaborns to hope and wish. Them each carry a sense of self. Just have to repeat that to myself like a mantra, again and again. But my drifting days came to an end when I found a new path, illuminated by a strange light from across the sea. On that day, yes, the day when that faint blue light shone, a whisper visited me. Who's there? Whose voice is... What? Hey, sewer dog, how you going? All them fishes! Kill the Seaborn! Kill the whale! We must kill the whale! The answer, thought through the eons by people I didn't recognize, played over and over in my ears. The voice that spoke it was muffled, warm and beautiful. The light of the city? The fault lies with you, Carmen! The hearts that were lost, the emotions that were forgotten, the sense of self that... No, that's enough of that, but I'd like to hear more about the light. The light that has sprouted from the 10 virtues. And the image those words drew in my mind was clearer and more beautiful than ever. Terror, pity, they've both failed to find a way out of this bridle. If they're going to be satisfied with living on as they are, then you can't change what you see by standing still. If you want to bring about a better world, then even if you may be lost in the ideals, you have to keep walking. Survival, worth of life. As I've never been too certain about either of those complicated ideas, I had no unflinching creed with which to convince her. That's not to say that the city has no need of the altruistic nature that Mares wants to bring there. That's not to say that I have a better answer than the combination of Seaborns and the light. Yep, we're in the second phase of the Mares battle. Even still, the emotions, the regrets, conversations I found and collected over this journey alongside the sinners. My answer. Honestly, I don't really know the city all that well either. City's fucked. My memory only goes back a year, and for what is practically my entire existence, I've been surrounded by the sinners and our adventure. Still, we want to keep trying. You're right. The city is an absurd, vicious place. Something new and horrible surprises me every other day. But Mares, that light you spoke of, I don't think that's what protects the ego, the sense of self. You skipped the dialogue? Oh no! You're not supposed to skip the dialogue! You're supposed to read it! What are the rewards? See, I know not to do that because, one, I'm streaming it, and two, if I skip the dialogue, then I'm never going to go back for it. To protect it, you have to first look unflinchingly both ways. The path that lies ahead, and the one that you've walked. Then, you confront them both. That can't be right. The light, it has to. I wasn't going to make that joke, but now that you said it... when I was a streaming Library of Ruiner, I definitely had several people in chat come in and be like, "Oh my god, Araxis, you're reading the passives? What the hell are you doing? You're not supposed to read the passives. When did you learn how to read?" You're just working based on what you heard about the city and the light. Ain't that right? Don't need to worry about passives if I kill them fast enough. What if you trigger a horrible passive and... like, what if you're up against the frickin' skin prophecy? You can't win rate that. You can't win rate skin prophecy. How can you be so confident the light will be able to protect the Seaborn sense of selves? Ain't that just what you want to believe? I think it's a distinct possibility. Even if the light can do what you hope it does, Mares, it won't change anything. And I die. I don't win, then I lose, and if I lose, I retry and click win rate again. Oh no, I guess Sewer Dork's not making it past Skin Prophecy. Earning our nature's kind by transforming us into Seaborns? An obedient method like that isn't our path. Because the sense of self protected like that, the kind nature attained like that, would be our own. It'd be yours, Mares. I know, I'm teasing. Protecting your own sense of self while being compassionate and kind. It's a path of unbearable suffering. Might fail some days, despite our best efforts. Some days, we'll be forced to confront the sins of our past and suffer. Verily, not one of us as we are now may see the culmination of that path. Yet, I can hardly find it within myself to simply leave it all in thy hands without so much as trying. You're saying that Seaborns can't be the answer that I've always sought. It doesn't make much sense if you think about it, Mares. Those sea monsters don't even know what self means. That's why they show no hesitation before sacrifice. If you were to introduce a sense of self to those sea monsters, that selflessness you want, be no more. She's a Seaborn-shaped distortion who is not a Seaborn, an endlessly anguished, contemplating distortion. If Mares' wish is to achieve an altruistic world, then her desire has to be that she doesn't want her efforts to become meaningless. Seaborns may be the perfect answer for some people. A recent example, Fabius. It seemed clear to me that that was precisely his wish. That doesn't seem to align with yours. Why did you answer, Miss Mares? Tell me your answer! I ask you again, what is your answer, Miss Mares? You're telling me I have to go back to wandering for so much time again, in search of that new answer? You won't be alone on that path. Walk it together, rely on one another, and it won't feel as alone. Trying to carry such a heavy burden all by yourself, Miss Mares. Such a prideful thing to do.
カンテさん、なんだかただならぬ気配を感じます。
Yeah, no worries. No, I'm never going to like try and gatekeep a game or anything like that. I don't call people tourists or anything like that, unless they're being gatekeepers themselves. Because, like, if someone's got to gatekeep something, then clearly, like, they don't really, like, care about it, right? They're just trying to, like, hold one over on someone else. And, I mean, I'd argue that they're missing the whole message of the games. Anyway, let's go check out your new skills, shall we? Yeah, so this is the part where she gets her big barrier that she maintains, but if we crack it, we stagger her, and she gets fragile. So, tidal art, fierce currents, and undulating waves, eh? So, consume Abyssal Vitality to inflict more nervous impairment. Heathcliff is my third favorite character. First favorite Otis, second favorite Don, third favorite Heathcliff. Canto 6 is incredible, 100%. Okay, so fairly simple sort of skill here. Unfortunately, we are going to be picking up nervous impairment as we go. Oh wow, alright then. Clearly we're sharing the same brain cell. Fierce currents. Oh, this is almost exactly the same, except this one gains coin power. Alright. Undulating waves, however. How far? I'm current. Not everyone in chat is current, however. I know one person in chat, I'm not sure if she's still here, only just finished Canto 2. So, out of respect for her, like, let's try to avoid spoilers there. Yeah, I'm current. Yeah, no worries. Because, yeah, Canto 6 is absolutely something. Yeah. And I very much appreciate you asking, both for my sake and for the audience's sake. I haven't actually streamed Canto 6. I played that one off stream, but eventually I do plan to do so. Like, I've been going back over the stuff that I missed, and Canto 6 is actually next on my list. Because we finished Canto 5 a few months ago or something like that. Yeah. And yeah, the game is absolutely beautiful. Also, hi Drago, hope you're doing well. Alright, so yeah, this one gets a bonus for nervous impairment. Max 9. Oof, alright. Consume 10 Abyssal Vitality, gain half of the consumed stacks as offense level next turn. Okay, we want to clash lose this guy if possible. We want to win this clash, but I mean, we want to win the clash anyway, right? Alright, so we're eventually going to... yeah, we've got a whole bunch of people who are about to become impaired, but thankfully, Mares starts taking it easy on us if we do end up getting staggered, so we've got that at least. Yeah, I'm definitely proud of our Limbus company, so you and me both. Let's get this battle underway, shall we? Okay. Excuse me. Hold on. I have to keep refreshing myself. Yeah, I think this is I think we should do Land of Illusion, so we've got a passive ability to restore sanity on some people, especially considering we're running a few negative sanity characters. Over here. Actually, hold on. That's not quite as strong. Alright. Yeah, because your sanity's a bit lower. Fair enough. Yeah, let's do that. Get ourselves some sanity restoration. Considering over here. Over here. Do that. Over there. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. Okay. However... I might, go go blind obsession here. Looks good to me. Every character since 3 has made you cry worse and worse. Dropped down at 7, still cried. I mean, considering 6, I mean, yeah. Only play because your girlfriend at the time kept bringing it up. Between Two Worlds started changing that. And... no, that's absolutely fine, Sewer. I'm very much happy for people to like gush over their sort of like moments and all that. Like, that's just part of chat, right? And yeah, don't worry, we'll be going into ad break mode. Or currency. There we go. So yeah, we'll pause right here for a moment, and then we will actually go into the battle just after that. All right, be right back. Alright, we are back. That's also after your 200 pools, so Electrum never will have a chance to use it. I mean, you might end up using it for like niche purposes, or because you just feel like using it or something. That's interesting over there. We've actually got the light in the background from the White Nights and Dark Days. Anyway, let's begin the assault.
막아내지 못해. 이 파도 속에서 움직일 수 있는 오직 깨어져라.
Ow.
총원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
I do like when some of the egos go like full sort of like face cam for the sinners. I swapped from bottled water to one of those water purifier jugs.
점만 노린다.
Alright, hopefully that goes works out well for you. Normally I don't take stock in bottled water, I just go for tap water if I need water.
모든 무성무정 시선을 봐야 부질없다 해도 기꺼이 저 풍진 세상으로.
Tides carry away the windows to Mare's past, soon devouring them beyond vision. It's almost as if Mare's and the dungeon of the fathoms, no, the ocean itself, is fusing into one. A majority of distortions encountered by the bus team have assumed a form generally recognized as an organic entity. However, there is nothing preventing a distortion's form from breaking that boundary and taking a different shape, as it may vary by the individual's desires. If her distortion is allowed to exacerbate undeterred, it may eventually corrode this very space in which we stand. As we were taking some time to catch our breaths, a few small machines tumbled to the ground, shot from one of the trembling fathoms. It must be one of those mysterious machines in Mare's home that we saw when we peered into her memories. The machines continued to whir loudly, as though the waves broke them. We saw that there were various apparatus attached to the sockets on their sides. Expensive they appear, yet how numerous they are. Well, you know, or maybe she's similar to one of those fixer fellas who are always hell-bent on picking up every new cutting-edge workshop tech. Huh, it says little handy down here. This has an oddly similar structure to the Hand of the Saint the Inquisitor brought. Then shall this fantastically wonderful machine be of assistance in our battles? Rhodes Island already seems to have their hands full holding the line against the tide of sea terrors. We should probably take just one and leave the rest to help them out. After a quick discussion with the sinners, we decided to take just one of the machines. Alright, so, Wilderness Survival will give us max HP and an HP healing boost. Enhanced effects of Hand of the Saint. Safeguarding effect against Dagger. Alright. Counteracts the Netherseas brand's influence on sinners, or temporary power boost. I am going to go with max HP and HP healing boost, I think. Wilderness Survival Module detected. Activating Survival Command. I don't really understand how it works, but that sure sounds helpful. Alright, Wilderness Survival Module has been obtained. Get ourselves a bit of a heal up there. Okay. So, let us actually engage in some healing. Let's see what the Wilderness Survival module does. Heals more. Gotcha. Hey, Sophie, how you going? Now, I'd love to use this or teleport, but right now, Don's not having such a good time. For that. undulating waves again. How much have we? There we go. That's better. All right. For that, Heathcliff, I want you to use this to help boost people's sanity. Yeah, good night, Kura. Hope you sleep well. Yeah, we'll go with that. Why not? Anything else I want to do? No, I think I'm good. Okay.
사격 개시.
아득한 여정, 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로 답을 구하시길.
흐릿한 등화 곱게 적은
Alright, let's gain some thunder, shall we?
용이 되어 빈 벼루에 남았구나.
잠깐만 기다려라.
Yeah, all the best with that, Sophie. Organizing files can be annoying sometimes, that's for sure.
지면이 울릴 때마다 네 업을 떠올려라.
Ouch. Okay. Lucky. Ouch.
Limbus Company の皆さん、この勢いに乗って勝ちに行きましょう。
Alright. Yeah, she's pretty damn solid. Sadly, we got a few staggers down. I did not want that to happen, that's for sure. Alright, well, let's, with all the compassion they believe in loses its worth. Okay, yeah, lose power, which is good. Halves the amount of abyssal vitality gained. Gain shield equal to 20% of max HP. Yeah, okay. And also, there was something that happened after you used that as well, right? Yeah, you gain fragile. That. Okay. All right. That seems good to me.
불가 위압 막아내지 못해 아득한 여정 멈추지 않는 시대에서 희망과 미래를 찾아 스스로
Get ourselves some more healing for people, and the whole sort of like HP barrier thing. Oh, that's more damage than I wanted. That's right, Infernal. That's precisely what we're doing.
この勢いに乗って勝ちに行きましょう。
Okay. I don't think we lost anyone though, so that's good. This has activated, so we do need to put that down. Okay. Can't use Hex Nail. Out of that. Let's let that one hit. Yeah, part of the reason for that sewer was we did win the clash, so it did reduce the damage a fair bit. Yeah, we can probably take that. Okay. Deal with it.
날카롭고 정확하게 차라리 아무것도 남지 마라. 종원, 조명이 전멸하는 저곳으로 파도가 모든 것을 쳐부술 거다.
Worked out.
아르카나 피트.
그 삶의 마침표를.
림버스
Okay.
艦隊士の皆さん、この勢いに乗って
Go.
勝ちに行きましょう。
Alright. Now we can do this again. Alright. Do that. Next, need you to do anything? Or are you,
더 처리할
sort of
먹잇감.
good? Line of session. I can actually upgrade this one because I just got it. Oh well. Whenever this unit when I unlock this. Oh, that's good. I need to upgrade you. Jeez. Okay. Is that offering just... Yeah, it looks like it. I'll go over that again for you. It is above Ego. It does have a decent cost to it. But yeah, whenever it uses a base attack skill against an enemy, gain one additional Ego resource for a random, least owned affinity that doesn't correspond to the affinity of the attack skill used. And that's twice per turn, so in larger battles, like potentially three total. It's good.
더 처리할 먹잇감 있나?
서독해시
I'm surprised you're still in the battle, to be honest.
정의보다도 풍자요, 사랑보다 불간자요. 운명 속에 파묻힌 그대 이름을 걸고
Alright, so it looks like he broke the shield.
빛의 맹세하여 우리 앞을 막는 증오스러운 존재들에게 나와 그대의 힘을 합쳐 위대한 사랑의 힘을 보여줄 것을! 아르카나 슬레이머!
And it's also the least common resource that you got, so that could help
사선이 비었어요.
help you use more skills. So that's very nice.
リンバスカンパニーの皆さん、この勢いに乗って勝ちに行きましょう。
Alright. We should be able to just engage here, I think. How did this one's passive work? Ah, alright. Yeah, let's do that. Boost.
불가 위함 막아내지 못하리.
하나, 둘. 지면이 울릴 때마다 네 업을 떠올려라.
We go.
Mission accomplished.
It's true that people scrutinize others for differences, to find something they can hate. But it's also true that it is often those very differences that people look up to. And admiration usually goes hand in hand with overestimation. Yes, and Miss Mares admired those two unknowns, Seaborns and the Light. He thought they would be the solution to everything. Alright. I think you do need Wraith in order to activate Contempt. Yeah. Generally, I try and maintain a balance of ego resources. Sometimes it works better in some cases, not in others, but yeah. I mean, I need to go and upgrade that ego, like, after we're out of this. Mares. Yeah, absolutely. It's a probes and pylons strategy. Do you still want to go to the city? No. Yeah, no worries. We're about to wrap up the stream anyway once we finish this, so I'll remain here in Terra. I'll broaden my studies. And I'll talk more to find a new path toward realizing my wish. As for what will happen now, Miss Mares, we're going to need to have a long talk with the Inquisition, but we'll help too. We'll help you in your search for that path, if we can. I wonder if they'll add Mares into Arknights as a canon character. great arc built from the city crumbles. Light fades and gives way to shadows. And we found ourselves back aboard the vessel Marsus. Battle complete. Vessel Marsus? Slowing down. How's Miss Mares? Here, unconscious. The mental strain seems to have taken its toll. It all happened inside the dungeon of the Fathoms, but it can't have been too easy on her mind to send so many waves after us. What'll happen to Miss Mares now? First, we'll wait for the Inquisition's ruling, then bring her to Rhodes Island. Her efforts were misguided, but she also had Terra's best interests at heart. Together, I'm sure we can discuss a better way forward. What if she's sentenced to death? Then we will need to offer a different proposal. We can consider it when we get to it, Doctor. It's finally over. All we have left to do is go back. As we were preparing to leave with our hearts much lighter than they were earlier... Hold on, everyone! Something's rapidly approaching us. A low, thrumming roar vibrates the air as a strange shadow looms over the ship. Where did this shade come from? Wait. Almost as if driven by instinct, Ishmael takes the radio from Gregor and runs into the control room. Something must have clicked in Otis's head, and she also turned and ran after Ishmael. Those two are running into the bridge. Jace! Grab onto something! Oh, bollocks. Oh, mucking it up right before the finish line. Doctor! Dante has advised that we grab onto something. Let's see. They're preparing to turn the ship around. Everyone, brace for impact. Stay alert. Something's coming. The ship leaned heavily as it hurriedly turned portside, and I caught a glimpse of a massive shadow gliding just beneath the water's surface, right where the ship was a second ago. It's a seaborn, about the size of... no, slightly larger than the vessel Marsus. And these communicator buzzes with Ishmael's voice. The currents are going wild. Wait, no. Something's causing these currents to go wild. We'll try our best to maintain evasive maneuvers for as long as possible, but we can't do this forever. If the situation does not improve, we may have to take the vessel Marsus to cross the dimensional door. Does Rhodes Island have a way out of this quandary? Not at this moment. We'll have to come up with one now, and fast. Dante, does anything come to mind? We should first figure out why that Seaborn's coming after us. Pop that. I'll focus on steering the ship, so keep us updated. With that, the ship immediately begins a sharp turn, narrowly dodging the ponderous body of the Seaborn as it swims by. We can't just take the whole ship across the dimensional door. We're not the only ones on it. But it's too wild to simply turn around and let the others leave. It's almost like it's obsessed with this ship. Why could it possibly be coming after the ship all of a sudden? Being at Barbius's order? It's coming after me. It's not me. You? Yes. I'm their enemy. An Abyssal Hunter. As though to prove it, a giant beast began to charge against the bow of the ship the moment Skadi repositioned herself there. Just what are the Abyssal Hunters? Why are they so gung-ho about trying to kill you? Vessel hunters are those who hunt sea terrors and seaborns. Of course, this isn't based on any emotion, such as vengeance or resentment. It's Skadi's... well, not important right now. What matters is that they're solely targeting Skadi. Operators of Rhodes Island are heavily fatigued at this moment from their long defense against the waves in the Dungeon of the Fathoms. The same could be said of us and Miss Amia, battle bears in the meantime. To engage that seaborn in this particular circumstance is... oh! Something shakes the vessel Marsus once again. Oh, what's this now? Oh, there's more? There are indeed multiple entities surrounding our ship. However, a violent, destructive sound crashes through the waves towards vessel Marsus. Past the sudden wall of mist, there was... lucky. Or is this simply how it was supposed to go? Ishamra! The Knight! Two Seaborns! It's going to be fine, Miss Inquisitor. If he is the same knight we fought earlier, I doubt he'll be able to stop himself from charging at that giant of a sea monster. Like Honglu said, the knight charged straight at the giant rough wave. Great Seaborn, as though he hardly noticed our presence. We can help the knight repel that Seaborn. We just might have a shot at sending Limbus Company back through the dimensional door and escaping aboard the vessel Marsus ourselves. Can everyone still move? Almost at my limit, but I can still move. I've got a plan, and I'd like for everyone to trust me on this. Things weren't so bad outside after you'd entered the portal. Now's the time for the hunter to get to work. The bright ray of light from Irene's lamp shines upon those atop the deck, while Skadi leaps tall into the air, using the ship's bow as her launching pad. The operators each scatter their appropriate positions as commanded by the Doctor. Ishmael and Otis both exited the decks as well, presumably having found someone to steer the ship. Is it okay to have you two out here? This Councit seemed to know enough about seafaring to take over. While this crisis is far from over, she was good enough that it was reasonable for us to leave the ship steering to her and descend to the decks for our return. It doesn't seem like we'll all be able to bid you goodbye. You sure you're all going to be okay? We can stay a little longer and help. I appreciate the sentiment, I really do, but... Amiya pointed towards the dimensional door, which had shrunk significantly smaller since the first time we saw it. You don't have much time. I wonder if it was only supposed to open for a set period of time, or what if it's closing now because our work here is done? There was precious little we could learn about it now, but it was obvious that our time here was coming to an end. Thanks, Amiya. We would have been lost for a while in this world if it weren't for Rhodes Island's help. Well, thanks to you, we should be able to sufficiently study the dimensional door before we return. Well, time to say goodbye to the Iberian sea breeze, I guess. Do you have any idea how big the pile of paperwork is going to be at the Inquisition? Try not to drop into Iberia next time. You got that? Sure. Let's all stay nicely put in our own worlds. As the Great Seaborn briefly falters at the combined might of Skadi and the Knight, The ship's bow managed to stop inches from the dimensional door. Manager! Now's your chance! Get to the dimensional door! Someday, I hope we can meet again! We shall take our leave. Let's return to the city. The sea had turned into a brutal battlefield. Terrible roars contending with one another. After taking one final look at Rhodes Island defending the vessel Marsus, we leapt into the pitch-black darkness at the center of the dimensional door. I'm swept away by the tides of consciousness. The river draws out my memories and consciousness, sublimating them away. And where is this Yihongwan? I look around and see the sitters strewn about the room, dozing off. I see Heathcliff crash like that all the time, but how did everyone crash at the same time, sleeping against the walls? Bizarre sensation that something was truly amiss crawls up my spine. You have come too. Now that you have come too, I request that you continue your rest in your chamber. Your presence here makes it difficult to conduct cleaning activities in areas adjacent to your body. Huh? What? We just came through the dimensional door after Rhodes Island. Rhodes? You were transferred here after the LCCA discovered your company unconscious at the entrance of a Lobotomy Corp branch. I feel like I just went through a memorable experience, but I can't recall what. It was a hole in my memory, and this strange, emotional tug at my heart, and ego that I don't ever recall extracting. Rocinante, prithee, avail me but 5 more minutes of scheduling wooden training dummies to wake you in 5 minutes. But the bizarre sensation naturally settles. Was that abnormality? What just happened? I don't have any answers to either of those questions, but... Wait, where's Saud? She said something about how there's been a delay or something. I couldn't find Saud, who's been bringing us odd jobs here and there during our stay, anywhere in Yihongwan. But on the desk, I did find a note filled with various requests and a letter, presumably left behind by Saud. We've got a distortion contract. Come on, time to earn your keep. You weren't going to lounge around until we got a message from HQ, right? Are they allergic to giving us time off or something? In that moment, a certain voice briefly surfaces from the abyss of my memories, before sinking again. There's no such thing as absolutes when it comes to the value of life. Which means that it should never be up to others to define the worth of life, to argue for it. The worth of life. I don't quite recall who said that, or even where I heard it from. Honestly, I don't even understand what exactly it was supposed to mean. You can't change what you see by standing still. If you want to bring about a better world, then even if you may be lost in the ideals, even still, some of those words left a lingering impression on my heart. You have to keep walking. Unable to sit still, I got up from my seat and began waking up the sinners one by one. Yeah, it's not like we're getting anything done here. On your feet, guys! Time to get to work. The sinners each began waking up, some of them looking around to get their bearings, like they were just pulled out of a long dream.
그 정도 화력으로 우리 사무소를
There we
막을 수
go.
있을 줄 알았냐? 저놈들 무기까지 줘서 철수하자고.
That's a bit of rewards there. That'll definitely go nicely towards... Let's grab our lunacy. Let's go to normal and grab these. Yes, I do. Don't forget to go to normal and grab rewards there. Yeah. We have done a bang-up job, in my opinion. Let's go grab all of those. Let's grab all the thread. Let's grab the XP. And yeah, Walrus managed to buy everything. Well done, me. Before we forget, we are going to go and upgrade Contempt and All, because that is a really nice passive right there. Let's upgrade that. And what's its normal thing sort of do anyway? Attack weight based on resonance. And gain Gaze of Contempt. Extra damage. But Contempt of the Gaze next turn instead of firing. Okay. Protection damage and start tanking. Okay. Interesting. And then put bleed on everyone. Okay. There we go. I don't have quite enough for that. Hey, hello. That was part of Lust Resonance. Gain 1 ego resource and affinities corresponding to each of this unit. Ooh, alright. Well, I'll upgrade that later in my own time. But yeah, that's the Arknights event for you, everyone. And hopefully that was something that everyone enjoyed. So, that means that we no longer have to do Limbus Company for the rest of the week. So we have to decide on what it is that we want to stream instead. So, I do want to start streaming Silent Hill F, but I'm going to have to put a pause on that next week, because I won't have my desktop available for me. And I don't expect to be able to play that on my laptop. So, I could either start that now, and then we'll play stuff on my laptop, which will likely be Ender Magnolia, and then after a few weeks come back and return to Silent Hill F, or we can start Ender Magnolia immediately, or we can do some 100 line instead. So we've got those options available to us. If you have a preference, let me know, like right now. Otherwise, I'll just have to decide on my own. By tomorrow, I guess. We'll see what happens. But until then, we need to go and raid somebody, don't we? So let's go and have a look and see who is playing what. All right. Now, I think let's go and raid. Let's let's go raid Armia Stars, shall we? Armia is currently playing some Mecha Break at the moment, and looks like she's in character creation, and I'm always a sucker for character creation in games, right? So let's pop on over and go see how that's going, shall we? Alright, thank you very much as always, and I hope to see you all next time. Alright, see ya!